So I have been staring at my screen for about 3 hours now trying to figure out how to even start talking about this week in Port Charles. And honestly, my brain is just entirely fried at this point. I mean, we all knew this was coming, right? We all knew Jason Morgan was going to be leaving our screens again because Steve Burton is taking a hiatus to be with his family. Which, okay, fair enough, family first and all that. But the way the writers are setting this up, it is just so messy. And I don't mean messy in a fun soapy way, I mean messy in a what are they actually thinking kind of way. But let's be real, we are all going to watch it anyway because it's Jason. And Jason Morgan is literally everywhere in the spoilers for the week of March 16. He is making vows, he is having conversations that cost him something, and he is taking action that nobody is going to be able to walk back. If you have been watching this show for more than 5 minutes, you know that when Jason shifts from talking to doing the whole town shakes, I just keep thinking about Britt Westbourne and how absolutely devastated she is going to be. They had a plan, you guys. They had a whole plan to run away to Canada to escape Ross Cullum and reverse engineer her Huntington's meds. And now it's all falling apart. Let's just break it down day by day, because if I don't, I am going to lose my mind and go on a tangent about the WSB that will last for 10 pages. So Monday, March 16. Jason and Sonny Corinthos stand across from each other and make a promise. A vow. And whatever they are swearing to each other, it carries the weight of everything that has been building up for weeks. Is Jason promising to protect Sonny's territory? Is he promising to take out Cullum? I don't know. But Jason does not make vows lightly. He just doesn't. He never has. Every time Jason makes a serious promise to Sonny, somebody ends up in the hospital or the harbor. It's just facts. But Monday isn't just about the mob drama. Cody Bell has apparently decided that the time for dancing around how he feels about Molly Lansing Davis is over. He shows up ready to say it plainly. And this is actually a really important storyline. The show is doing an Endometriosis Awareness Month plot, and Kate Mansi is even directing Monday's episode. Molly had that terrifying endo flare-up that sent her to the hospital, and it really scared Cody. But instead of running away like some guys would, Cody is stepping up. He is going to let Molly know exactly where he stands after she explains her condition to him. I actually really love this for them. It feels grounded. It feels real. And honestly, we need some realness in between all the shootouts and secret WSB labs. Also on Monday, Tracy Quartermain goes looking for Laura Collins. And those two sharing a room is never a casual visit. It's always a clash of the titans. I could watch Tracy and Laura read the phone book to each other and be entertained. But the big drama on Monday, Portia Robinson, Portia is outraged over something that clearly hit very close to home. And we all know exactly what this is about. Jordan Ashford. Jordan is pregnant. And not just pregnant, but pregnant with Curtis's baby. A double daddy situation. Because Portia is also pregnant. What were the writers thinking? Actually, no, I know what they were thinking. They were thinking maximum soap drama. Portia found out about Jordan's bun in the oven before Jordan could even tell Curtis. And remember when Jordan blabbed to Curtis about Portia's pregnancy? Yeah, Portia remembers. She is furious. She is outraged, and Curtis, meanwhile, is doing what he does best, and steadying Trina Robinson when she needs it, completely oblivious to the absolute hurricane that is about to hit his life. So then we get to Tuesday, March 17. Carly has something to say to Sonny, and she is not waiting for the right moment to say it. She is making one. Carly is always making moments. But let's remember that Jason just caught Carly with Valentin Cassadine recently. Jason ripped into her about it. So is she going to Sonny to do damage control, or is she plotting something else? Carly never stops plotting. And then there is Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Baldwin. They take a real look at what they are building and have the kind of conversation that either solidifies something or complicates it entirely. Let's be real here. Rick Lansing is Rick Lansing. He always says he has changed. He always promises the world to Liz, and then he does something incredibly shady. But Liz is also finding solace with Dante Falconeri lately because Dante is stressed out of his mind. So Rick is probably feeling the heat. Is he going to push Liz for a commitment? Probably. Will it blow up in his face? Almost certainly. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, Jack Brennan corners Ross Cullum and starts asking questions that Cullum is not going to enjoy answering. Brennan knows there is a traitor in the WSB. Britt tipped him off, and Brennan already warned Jocelyn that if Cullum finds out they are onto him, they will both be killed. So, Brennan confronting Cullum directly, that is a massive risk. Cullum is dangerous. He is holding Britt's life in his hands with that cold fusion program. I am honestly terrified for Brennan here. And also on Tuesday, Portia reaches a decision that has clearly been a long time coming. She is going to blow Jordan's secret out of the water. She is going to tell Curtis. I can feel it. She wants revenge, and she is going to take it. Alexis Davis is also around on Tuesday, not buying whatever she is being told. Her instincts are rarely wrong. Maybe she is dealing with Willow, and that ridiculous restraining order keeping Danny away from Scout. Alexis just wants to be a grandmother, let her live. Wednesday, March 18. This is where things start getting really heavy. Jason Morgan sits down for a conversation that costs him something. You can feel it coming from the moment it starts. Who is he talking to? Is it Britt? Is he telling her he can't go to Canada with her? Is he telling her he has to sacrifice himself to take down Cullum? If he breaks Britt's heart after everything she has been through with her Huntington's diagnosis, I am going to riot. I swear I will. Britt deserves better, but Jason always plays the martyr. He just does. It is his core character trait. Also on Wednesday, Lucas Jones finds out something that sends him into full alarm. This has to be tied to Jen Sidwell's dinner party at Windermere. Sidwell is trying to unite the families of Lucas and Marco Rios, and Marco is already panicking. Marco is trying to steal Britt's medication, Pascal is lurking around, and Ava and Lucy are probably throwing drinks at each other. Lucas is in danger. Marco might even kill someone to protect Lucas. It is going to be a bloodbath at that castle. But amidst all this chaos, Lulu, Spencer, Nathan West actually managed to carve out a real date in Port Charles that qualifies as a minor miracle. A real date. No shootings, no kidnappings, just a date. But of course Maxie is looming in the shadows. Maxie admitted to Lulu that she will resent her for dating her ex-husband. And I just have to rant about this for a second. Maxie chose Damian Spinelli. She literally woke up from her coma and chose Spinelli over Nathan. And now she is mad that Lulu and Nathan are connecting. Make it make sense. I get that Nathan is the father of her child, but she made her choice. She doesn't get to dictate Lulu's happiness, especially since Dante and Lulu have been over for a long time. But whatever. Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermain steal some time together too, remembering what it feels like when things are good. They are hoping to foster baby Jane Doe, Delilah's premature baby, once she leaves the NICU. I love Chase and BLQ so much. They are the only pure things left on this show. And Elizabeth finds herself in a position she did not ask to be in and has to answer for it on the spot. Is Dante confronting her? Is Rick? Who knows? Thursday, March 19. Jason Morgan stops talking and starts moving. When this man shifts from conversation to action, Port Charles pays attention. This is it. This is the exit strategy. He is making his move against Cullum, or he is getting kidnapped by Cullum. The rumors are swirling that he might end up presumed dead again. Maybe get knocked on the head and wake up in Nixon Falls with a goatee and a cardigan? I am laughing, but I am also crying because it could totally happen. Marco Rios puts himself on the line in a way that could go very badly very fast. He knows it going in. He is probably trying to take out Pascal. Ava Jerome has something to say to Lucas and frames it as a warning. Lucas needs to listen to Ava. She knows when things are about to go south. Tracy and Alexis go at each other with full commitment and zero apology. Just classic GH right there. And of course, Lulu and Nathan barely get a moment before someone or something crashes into their date. Because heaven forbid anyone just eats a meal in peace in this town, it's probably Maxie. Or Dunchi. Or some random WSB agent falling through the ceiling. Friday, March 20. Nathan West goes to Dante Falconeri with something he needs him to know. The fact that Nathan is delivering it says a great deal about how serious it is. Is it about Lulu? Is he telling Dante to back off? Or is it about the Delilah investigation? Dante's been aggravated lately. And Nathan is protective. This could get ugly. Then we get the big devastating moment. Britt Westbourne gets hit with something that shakes her. And it is not easy to shake Britt. Jason is gone. His action derailed their escape plan. The Canada trip is ruined. She is left alone, terrified of Cullum and terrified of her disease. My heart breaks for her. It really does. Michael Corinthos steps in front of something that was heading somewhere he is not going to allow. Maybe Jacinda Bracken confessed something huge to him about her past, and how it ties to Delilah, and now Michael is playing hero. Brennan gets called out and has to face it. The week ends with more questions than answers, and at least one person who should have seen it coming. Probably Curtis when Portia drops the bomb on him. I am just so exhausted by all of this. But I am going to be glued to my screen on Monday. Because despite all the clunky writing and the repetitive tropes, I care about these characters. I care about Britt getting a cure. I care about Lulu finding some peace. I even care about Jason, as frustrating as his constant disappearing acts are. So yeah, grab your wine, grab your tissues, and let's just brace ourselves for whatever Hurricane Jason Morgan is about to unleash on Port Charles. Because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And maybe I am being too dramatic about it, but honestly, have you seen this show? Drama is the only language they speak. And another thing about the whole Jason exit, Steve Burton and Bradford Anderson were teasing on their podcast that the exit is going to be very interesting and elicit a whoa, then a what? I mean, what does that even mean? Are aliens abducting him? Is he going back to the Cassadine Island? The fan theories are absolutely wild on social media right now. Some people think Cullum locks him in a freezer. Some people think he fakes his own death to protect Britt from afar. But if he fakes his death, why wouldn't he tell Danny he just updated his will to make Alexis Davis the guardian of Danny if something happens to him? That is a huge deal. Alexis is already fighting with Willow over Scout, and now she might have to take in Danny full time if Jason dies again. The legal battles alone are going to take up 6 months of airtime. And let's circle back to Willow for a second. Willow Kane is acting so out of character lately. She is holding Scout hostage, basically keeping her away from Danny and Alexis just because Drew is incapacitated and she has the power. It is manipulative and it is cruel. Jen Sidwell is flexing his power over Willow, delivering orders to her, so maybe she is just projecting her stress onto Alexis. But still, it is hard to watch. I miss the old Willow, who was just a sweet teacher. Now she is this controlling stepmother figure, and I am not here for it. So yeah, next week is going to be a lot. A whole lot. Between the endometriosis storyline, which is genuinely important, the mob wars, the WSB traders, the double pregnancies, and the romantic quadrangles. I don't know how they are going to fit it all into 5 episodes. But they will. They will smash it all together in that beautiful, messy, chaotic way that only a soap opera can. And I will be right here typing furiously on my keyboard, complaining about it and loving every single second of it. See you guys on the other side of the weekend. We are going to need a lot of coffee to get through this.